Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, what's going on? What's up? And welcome back. Yes, it's been a while. And if you see me on the screen, y'all already know what time it is. It's time for Eddie G's Comic Culture. What's happening? My goodness, it's been a minute. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, let me start off by saying thank y'all for stopping by and checking the kid out. It's been a while. It's been it's been a wild couple of months, honestly. Not just personally, but worldwide, apparently, with what's been going on. I hope y'all have been safe, everyone that's been following along with social distancing, following the guidelines. This COVID-19 business has really knocked us out for a loop and really threw everything into like I've never seen this before, like a day, like I've never seen this at all before. Like the entire earth has literally frozen still. So it was a bit of a time getting over it. Trying to get through it because this period definitely, much like everyone else, I tried my best to keep myself focused on the beginning, but as time progressed and me being as a heavy person into exercise and stuff like that, and the cabin fever started to get into started reaching to me, and I couldn't write anymore. My graphic novel was just standing there for a little bit, and basically I just couldn't really focus on anything because of everything that's been happening. And but being in Florida did have its, I guess you could say, somewhat of its perks. We managed to open up a little bit early, so I managed to go ahead and get my exercise going on, and thankfully nothing's come of that. Um, but I know that this has really been a rough period for a lot of people out there that's been battling certain issues such as depression. I hope you guys are definitely trying your best out there to keep your head above water. I know these are tough times, and we're all trying our best to keep a positive light beaming in our lives. But you know, it's the reality of it is shit can really suck sometimes, and when you're not really when you don't really have the people out there that you need to really get in contact with. Sometimes it's yeah, you have Zoom and everything of that nature, you have FaceTime and Skype and all of that. There's ways around it, of course, but it's really not the same for quite a lot of people who have that interaction, who enjoy that face-to-face physical interaction. So with that being said, I'm with you guys on that. I hope you guys if you guys have any questions, obviously just hit me up in the comment section. You already know. If I don't get back to you quickly, I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But just to let y'all know, it's just like I said, it's been rough on everybody. So it's been rough on me too, which is kind of the reason why I've been away from here. But just to let y'all know, I'm back. And if this is your first time stopping by, thank you. Let me just let y'all know, give you a brief input summarizing what this is about. This is a little forum discussing about all things regarding pop culture, things from the present, past, and even in the future. I touch on all mediums as far as comic books, comic book movies, films of all from all genres, and music as well. Other forms of pop culture as well, as such as music videos. I'm going to be doing a music video list pretty soon too, so you guys keep open on that. Doing a lot of reminiscing about a lot of 80s products and whatnot and stuff of that nature, going down memory lane through YouTube. Sometimes you just go through, you ever get, when you get into those moments in YouTube and you just completely zone out and just you look into, that's basically what I've been doing the last couple of weeks throughout quarantine. Looking up a lot of old footage from all kinds of stuff, from films, commercials, TV shows, things of all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's basically what this show touches up on, and a lot of other shit too, man. We'll just get into it. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. And for those who've been watching, thank y'all for stopping through. Thank y'all for riding with me. Thank you for bearing with me and all of my madness and craziness. But yeah, let's get right to it. So there's not much really to been going on. It looks like Birds of Prey has been out on video on demand and some other other home media as well, such as Blu-ray, DVD, and all that stuff. I haven't caught that. I did manage to catch The Lighthouse over on. I did manage to catch The Lighthouse over on Amazon as it was streaming. And I want to give a brief review on that as I can go ahead and do so. Let me see what's going on here. Hang on a second, guys. It's been a minute. It's been a total minute. But okay, okay. So basically, I saw the film. I was streaming on Amazon Prime. Finally, after been dying to see for God knows how long, it wasn't playing around me in any other theaters. Um, and I gotta say, wow. I know I say this a lot for a lot of movies that blow me away, but damn, this movie really did something. It's a crazy film. It's one of the most. It's one of those movies that the thing is, there's not really the crazy part about The Lighthouse is that there's not much of a story there. Seriously, when you watch the film, when you get done with it, there's really not much of an in-depth story going on. As far well, let me rephrase that. There's not much of a story as far as there's not really, it's really as far as there being like a point to the story. It's a tale between two people two men that are lighthouse keepers somewhere off in New England, and it's during the late 1800s, of course, and it basically chronicles a time being that they spent together in the lighthouse for a couple of weeks. William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. William Dafoe, who we've all known as a Hollywood legend. Um, let's he's always his roles are always there. He's the man has numerous iconic roles. I'm never gonna take that away from William Dafoe, but he's always gonna be the Green Goblin to me. To me, that really, I really think that he reinvigorated the villain. I think he reinvigorated villains for comic book films, and he did it in a level that was just pretty much on par to me as Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix, of course, and this film is no except there's no exception. Obviously, the man kills it. He delivers tenfold exactly a brilliant a masterful performance, and Robert Pattinson, I have to say, is really he's definitely a force to be reckoned with in this film. That young man is basically you could see how he really is taking his craft seriously so far, since his debut days in Twilight, and he's just I could see, I have other faith, I had faith in Matt Reeves just off the strength of the Planet of the Apes trilogy for the Batman. Now I have even more faith in him for what's going on, and after witnessing what Robert Pattinson brings to the table as far as his acting chops is concerned, and it's an amazing film. I definitely highly suggest it for anyone who's trying to look and who's trying to watch it. I personally give it like a 5-star film. For me, it's definitely it's a very artistic film. You really sink into it. You can't just it's a level of crazy visual. It's a level of craziness, the madness that goes on in this. Reminds me quite a bit of it. It harkens back to like Hitchcock and Kubrick films, the way it's done, and that's the reason why I give it a 5-star film. That's why I give it such a high rating, because of the performances in itself, the cinematography, the visuals are absolutely insane. So I highly recommend it. Make sure you guys definitely check that out. And speaking of Robert Pattinson, it seems that we finally got a first glimpse of the Batmobile. And I gotta tell you, this shit's looking pretty hot. I'm loving the way it looks. It's a sleek. It's looking like it's gone back to the coupe style of the original old school, which was always which always matched Batman. I mean, the Batmobile was always it was always an awesome car. It's always supposed to be an awesome vehicle. Whether it's a tactical vehicle or it's just a sleek, sports car coupe, coupe sort of a vehicle for him. But the dynamic between the two. It's always either or for me. It's never really. I never really had a certain preference. Although if I'm lying, bullshit. If I had a certain preference, I'd have to go with the coupe, the regular, the sleek. '89 and animated series style, and so it looks great. It looks like a muscle car formatted, refitted to become Batmobile, and I love the way it's coming, and it's really coming together as a real Batman Year One type of fit, even though it is Year Two, but it reminds me quite a bit of Batman Year One, and I was actually talking to a friend about 2 weeks ago, and he tells me that he brought something to my attention that I didn't really notice through the film, through the photos, the stills. There's a real Blade Runner kind of like influence over it, just by, I guess, the cinematography in itself, the way it looks, kind of like it's very, it's a like, well, it's a noir picture, of course, and then I started looking at it, and of course I did like a mental contrast between the two, because me, I'm a Blade Runner fanatic. And so because of that, I'm like, damn, man, he's right. Like, there's somewhat of, I'm starting to see a difference, and that just raised my hype levels up to 1,000. So I'm loving every second of that. It's amazing. So I can't wait to see what the footage is going to look like. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, there's been quite a bit of delay of releases of, obviously, Wonder Woman is one of them. But apparently, so far, is getting pushed back to October, as well as the Batman. The Batman will be coming out October 1st of 2021. So that'll be something. I'm definitely hyped to see what's going to happen after this. Right now, everything is a shrouded mystery. We're all trying to see what's going on. And the reason for that being, yes, I am going to touch up on this. The obvious release of the the Snyder Cut Justice League. We've all been surprised by it. I was taken aback by it. Honestly speaking, I was taken aback. I didn't think it was gonna happen at all. I didn't think that shit had a prayer for it to see the light of day, and it is. Apparently, it is. I mean, I wouldn't say that it didn't have a prayer to come out. They just recently, like, it wouldn't, like, I was basically like, if we see it, it will not be anytime soon. And I was actually, the timing of it was actually what surprised me the most, because I didn't expect it for it to be released this soon. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really at all hyped. I'm kind of a little bit disappointed, because it really just, it kind of throws gas into the fire for people who really been wanting this continuation of this universe to go on. And we've been made, I think it's been made abundantly clear that there's nothing from this universe that will be building up on any further. And the only reason why I'm actually just saying, ultimately why I say agree, why I agree, say fuck it, just release it, is because give this guy the opportunity to shut the hell up. And no offense, but seriously, I've had enough of hearing about famed and fabled director's cuts, because now David Ayer's doing the same thing with Suicide Squad. And all honesty, I just don't give a shit. These were failed attempts at a shared universe. Failed attempts at a shared universe. This just pretty much fueled the fire for those fans who were fans of said universe. And now, and as of course, as I expected, just as I expected, they were going to take it. They were taking it to the next level. I've already seen it take it to the next step on Facebook and other social media outlets. People requesting Justice League Part 2 for Ben Affleck to come back. Things that are not coming, that are happening, that are not going to happen. Period. Ben Affleck has stated he will not return to the role. The man is 48 years old. He's done. He's really not trying to do any more of this. Okay, people are actually confirmed that there's been the articles saying that they're coming back, even though the studio confirmed none of them are coming back to film any new scenes for the Snyder Cut. They're just doing visual effects, because there's basically, and it makes sense. And in all honesty, it does make sense. If the film is 85% done, might as well just finish it up now, put it out there, and have everyone else to see it. And I'm not holding my breath. I'm really not holding my breath for this. I'm hoping, and because even though it's a long shot for a film that's already been reviewed, but I'm hoping that they might make an exception so that they could go ahead and try to make a review again for this. And once they do a review for the Snyder Cut, that'll be the end of it. Because I know for a fact it will not be. I'm sure of it. After MOS, BVS, and what the fiasco that happened behind the scenes for Justice League in the first place, I'm sure that it won't be any better than what the than what was able to have been, what Whedon was able to salvage originally. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Okay, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of the Snyder this, Snyder that. I don't want to hear any more of this. There was no reason, in all honesty, because it's just appeasing a small fan base. And yet this very small but very vocal fan base has been out there making these extravagant claims. And like I said, they're not going to happen. You're not getting a Justice League Part 2. You're not getting a Batman film with Ben Affleck. So let's just let it go. Let's just move on. And so on and so forth. Hell, we don't even know what the hell's going to happen with The Flash. I don't know what's been going on with Ezra Miller. But I don't know. Apparently he's been having some sort of issues as well. But whether or not that affects The Flash, I have no idea. That's another one that's been stalled for God knows how long. Let's see what else has been on the map. Oh, let's talk about this Tiger King craze. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I finally caved in and I saw Tiger King. Yes, the Netflix documentary that has taken the world by storm throughout the month of March and April, I guess you could say as well, and almost leaking into May. This documentary about a man who was I guess he was a zookeeper in Oklahoma. He was a very eccentric individual. He was a gay polygamist, and he basically had got into some sort of twisted beef with a woman from Florida out here, who was another an animal enthusiast, a big cat enthusiast, I guess you could say. And my thing is, I couldn't believe exactly how I got sucked into it, just like everyone else, because you can't believe that these people are actually real. The only one that was actually pretty normal was the drug dealer, the Cuban drug dealer, and the TV producer and the show. Even though he had his own, what was it, Rick Berman? Everyone else was just shit nuts. Like, I couldn't believe these people actually these people actually exist. So it was hell of a, like, it was the most insane documentary series I've ever seen in my life. Eccentric as all hell. That's an understatement if I may say so myself. But it was one of the most strangest and oddball things you've ever seen, especially with these people that are there. And rightfully so, Joe Exotic is in prison right about now for a murder for hire attempt on Carol Baskin. Carol fucking Baskin. And he's doing like 22 years right about now. I guess that should open up a whole can of worms, though, from the feds to go ahead and crack down on a lot of these big cat individuals, these animal rights, and it was just a whole circus, man. This shit was just basically a circus without the fucking big top. The only ones that I felt bad for in that show were the animals and the employees. The employees that suffered the most, that had to suffer at the hands of these insane individuals who should be obviously should be institutionalized. And I'm not talking about and I'm not talking about prison either. What's the I'm such a fan for this. I keep forgetting. The Smithfield Institution, is that the one where Michael Myers was locked in Halloween? I'm not too sure. But that would be a nice place to start to put a lot of these people in. Because damn, bro, like, they were really out of this fucking world. Like, I've never seen stuff like that in my life. So, hilarious for quite a bit because of the cat. It was quite throughout the show, it is hilarious, but at the same time, at the same token, it was very sad to see the realities of a lot of these people and how they were living, the harsh lives that they were leading on a day-to-day basis. But if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. It's on Netflix right about now. Very entertaining, if I may say so. But moving right along. I just, since, of course, COVID-19 put a whole kibosh on comic book collecting, I decided to go ahead. Comixology had some pretty good deals. I ended up picking up I ended up picking up the one of the trades digitally of Superman, the John Byrne run from 1986, and the Batman graphic novel. I forgot the title of it. I'll get back to you guys as soon as in the next episode. I promise. I'll let you guys know. But um, while I'm here about, well, let me just focus on the Superman graphic novel. It's the famed John Byrne run. It is the run that quite a bit of people go by. And I gotta be honest with you, after reading it myself, I can see exactly why. This was the reboot for Superman that was needed in the late '80s, in the mid to late '80s, and it stood out. It was a great run, apparently, but I feel, of course, at that time it was just still overshadowed. I think it was just. I think at that time it was just at that point it was just becoming overshadowed because of Batman. Batman fever started taking over, and DC really started publishing. Started pushing the Bat titles almost up there as the flagship for the brand. So with that being said, it's still a fantastic book. I know it's still a greatly revered book. A very great run. John Byrne does a fantastic job. I can see why he does. Like, this is a Superman. Like, this is the Superman that we need to see on screen right about now. This is a Superman that we need to see developed for the future audiences. This is what Captain America is. This is the embodiment of that. So this is represented. This representation in itself is what makes Superman Superman. And I gotta tell you, it's fantastic. It's a great run. Funny, beautifully written. It's got a lot of heart. Definitely a family-friendly book as well, and it's just amazing. And it's the crossing of where Superman and Batman cross each other for the first time. It's a wonderful, wonderful run. I have to say, it's a great book. If you have the time, please make sure you check it out. Fantastic artwork, and definitely a staple for any Superman fan out there. And last but not least, it looks like I want to get into, finally, Brian Michael Bendis' run on Superman is coming to a close. Thank God, because that shit was just pretty bad. I mean, apart from the return of the classic costume and Ivan Reis's beautiful, beautiful artwork, that book was just, there was just not at all desirable. Like, there was nothing desirable about that. Bendis has these good ideas, but his execution has become so bad ever since, I don't know, man, ever since the Ultimate Universe and 616 merged, Bendis really hasn't been doing too great. And this book is a prime example of it. Ever since his run started, I have not been at all impressed with the things that he's done. I was, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised at certain points. Nuclear Man, blah, blah. But everything else fell completely flat. Completely flat. And that's just one of the type of things that really Superman cannot have. That's not a book that you can have your mediocre titles going along and writers going along and doing what they do. So with that being said, I'm really kind of glad at the fact that Bendis is done with his run and closing it up, because I think it's time to give it to someone else who deserves it better. Peter Tomasi has been doing a pretty good job as well. Dan Jurgens has also picked it up. I'm not even going to front. He's been also pretty decent with his run. He's definitely stepped it up quite a bit. And, Man of Tomorrow, the Superman Man of Tomorrow animated feature. I'm waiting on I'm waiting on a trailer for that. Guys, I still have not seen Apocalypse War, so please forgive me. I will be getting on that very soon. My friends have been telling me all about it, so I will give you a very in-depth review very shortly on that. But I know. Just give me a shot. Give me a shot. I'm still playing catch-up on quite a bit of things. Right about now, I just started playing Resident Evil 2, the remaster for PS4, after that review for PS5. By the way, what a gorgeous system that PS5 is looking, and the games are looking excelente. Waiting on my pre-order date, Sony. So please let me know as soon as possible. Looks amazing, amazing. Oddworld, I was pleasantly surprised by how that looks. So I'm definitely hyped on that. But with everything else, guys, I'm gonna close it up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you have any questions, comments, please. You already know what to do. Hit the comment section. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button and let it be known that you get some notifications so you can get that ding, 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 ding every time I put some new shit up for you guys. So I hope you guys are going to have a great week. I hope you guys stay safe. Please do your best to try to maintain the social distancing and love one another. Don't forget Black Lives Matter. And shout out to Black Apparel, my family out in New Jersey. Kev. Don't forget Ray Bravello, Pronto Comics, Dennis Knight, everybody, Chemist. We're still working on that podcast, so don't forget on that. I'm definitely keeping you guys posted. Things are moving. This is just a little slow bump on the road, but things are still going. Blase blah. But yeah, I like to cut don't shit on my motivational speeches and pep talk, guys. This is my pep talk. You know what I'm saying? This is but I hope you guys will have a great one. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll see y'all next time on the flip side. Peace.